Your favorite fat boys.
Man, I'm gonna try, bitch.
What's up, everybody? It's your favorite fat boy, Jerron.
Stefan, aka Mayhem, aka the brand new Kaiju, aka Buster makes me feel real good.
Slammer. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You should be.
I went with it. That's where it took me.
And I'm going to start using it from now on. Slammer.
Where's the rest of what you need them? Oh, boy. So, welcome to the first episode of the podcast in 2024.
Yeah, it has been a minute.
Yeah, it's been what happened?
That's on you, bro.
I mean, you know, let's see. One has been cold. In January, let's see. There's a lot going on in January. My mother's dog passed away. He had to be put down. That was on Martin Luther King Day. So, RP City, we miss you. I know you can't hear this, but...
Oh, I'm about to say. Who was that for?
My mom watches sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we had him for 14 years? He would have been 14 this year. So we had him for a good 11 years. He was the best little dog my mother ever could have had. So, yeah, that was sad. And then also I lost a friend of mine, and they passed away. I think it was they passed away on Christmas. Her name was Bianca. She passed away from pneumonia and she was diagnosed with cancer but had complications due to pneumonia. She passed away on Christmas. That was tough. She was only 34. So, and then I had another friend of mine pass away. I went to high school with. She passed away in February. So, it's been a lot going on. So one of the reasons why we haven't done a podcast episode is just because of, you know, doing some personal stuff, and then, you know, just trying to figure out what we're going to talk about next. And it hasn't anything been going on, really. And it hasn't been nothing going on, except for now, we got X-Men cartoon. Yeah. We done seen Ghostbusters and King Kong. And we watched Avatar. What else we watch?
The live action Avatar.
The live action Avatar. The good one this time. The decent one.
Yeah, a decent one.
A decent one. Better than what M. Night Shyamalan put out.
Oh, absolutely better than what he did.
So, and we're touching a couple other things here. Oh, and then also then there's the passing of
Akira Toriyama. If
you don't know the name by now, it is the
You've
creator. You've
definitely seen the work, though.
Right. That's the creator of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, and Dragon Ball Super, right? That's it. Yeah, Dragon Ball Super. So,
yeah, so creative Dragon Ball, because that's how it's known in Japan, just Dragon Ball, no Z. But so creative Dragon Ball and just key artists behind some of your favorite games and TV shows, anime from yesteryear.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, so what we jump into first? Let's see. What do you want to jump into? Don't matter.
Yeah, you know, it don't matter to me.
Okay, so we know we finally got X-Men 97.
So X-Men is back, and it's 97 because that's when X-Men went off the air. The original X-Men cartoon went off the air, and this is a continuation of that. And for all of our listeners, you know, who are the people who spend most of the time viewing this, Jerron pulled out his toys.
These are not my toys. They are mine, but this is a collection of mine. Get it right.
They are toys from the X-Men 97 cartoon line.
This is my collection.
This shows you how much of a privileged life this man has lived because his mother bought these toys for him as soon as they dropped.
No, she didn't.
Which is a thing that he is oh so familiar with all his goddamn life. Whatever the hot newness is, mama gonna get them as soon as they drop.
That's not true. My mother does not just buy me things because she thinks I need them. She just got me this because...
Nobody said anything about you needing them. You obviously didn't need them.
No, I didn't need these. She got these as a Christmas gift. So I'm bringing them to you to bring to the people that watch the show. Because we're talking about X-Men 97. And you can't tell I'm elated about the show.
Again, and as I said, this shows you how much of a privileged life he has lived.
Which one you want to play with?
You got it, Wolverine?
Yeah.
That one.
I was more of a Gambit fan anyway. So, these going to be up during the whole show. So, what are your first thoughts on seeing the first 3 episodes?
So, first and foremost, in the beginning, like within the first initial 10 minutes, the animation style felt odd. But then once you get into it, you just completely forget it. And the action is balls to the wall. I'm like, I love the X-Men cartoon as a kid, but it has never looked like this. So they had a couple of scenes in that cartoon that just are ridiculous with the camera work and the action and the fluidity of the animation. So it is definitely one of my favorites, especially a return of a favorite, and they're really doing it justice.
Yeah, I was like, when I watched the trailer, I had to watch it a few times because I didn't catch certain little things. Like, so when I saw Gambit jump on Wolverine's back and charge his claws,
Yeah.
I'm like, what are y'all doing?
They got the team moves.
Right. So I was like, oh, okay, because they didn't do the fastball in the original 90s cartoon, right? With Colossus.
Yeah, no.
But seeing that was like, oh shoot, we about to get something special.
Yeah.
And then seeing Cyclops rolling there, hitting them with like the optic, the movement
Right.
slide, they let you slide and shit.
They using this optic blast to slide across the screen. Oh man, yeah.
I was like, what are y'all doing? I had to watch it like 3 times. I had to rewind that a couple of times.
They made Cyclops as good as he normally is in the comics.
Right. They definitely did. And just, like you said, the fluidity of the animation, like Jubilee dancing in that first episode.
Oh yeah, some animator got off on that. He was showing the fuck off. He or she was showing off the way they had her dancing.
I was definitely pumped. Like, it just brought back so much nostalgia.
And I like the fact that they're adapting some very serious storylines from the comics. Even though, with the previous episode with the Goblin Queen, I think it warranted more than just one episode to do that justice, but it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna circle back at some point, during this season.
Oh yeah, I mean they're definitely setting it up for a lot of the bigger story arcs from the comic books.
Yeah,
from that era as well.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see how this the rest of the season pans out, especially with like it being more of an adult theme now. They also with the relationships in the series as well with Rogue and Magneto.
Yeah,
they're knocking on the door to that.
Yeah, they're definitely
because my heart went out to Gambit when he saw Rogue walk out the room.
Yeah, they're definitely exploring. I mean, I guess this isn't really a spoiler per se because it's old as hell, but the sort of the relationship dynamics that they had just before the Age of Apocalypse arc starts.
Oh,
so
okay.
they're definitely. It looks like they're definitely leaning into the Age of Apocalypse.
Yeah, I think that's what I've been reading about. They're going to go get towards Age of Apocalypse, and I think it's a big telltale sign when it was the second episode and Jean's going to labor, and then Wolverine's like, who's the Apocalypse? I think him just saying that name out loud was like it was kind of like shadow telling, foreshadowing of what's to come.
Yeah, so definitely X-Men 97, I recommend as a must watch, especially if you were a fan of the original X-Men from 1997.
Yeah, because I've seen people talk about how they had to go back and watch like the first 5 seasons from the original from the 90s and kind of catch up on them in a sense because it's on Disney Plus and everything. I went back and watched a few episodes. I watched some of my favorite episodes, like Dark of Phoenix, Return to Phoenix, Days of Future Past, a couple episodes here and there, like Cold Front or Cold Comfort with Iceman on.
Oh yeah.
So I just watched a couple, just certain ones that like where the action was like top notch. So I like how Storm looks. Bishop looks tough. Gambit's still Gambit. I think kind of threw me off a little bit is some of the voice acting.
Well, I mean, part of that is because you went back and watched the older episodes.
Yeah.
So you see what the original voice was, and now these people who are doing a facsimile of those voices from back then. if you hadn't, because like me, like the voices felt kind of off, but since I hadn't gone back and watched the stuff, it's like, yeah, it's good enough.
Right. I mean, it's one of those things where like I feel like over time it won't matter. You know, it throws you off just because, like you said, I went back and watched the old episodes, and then here we are, you know, watch the new ones now. So, what do you think about Magneto so far?
Well,
His character.
The character is as dramatic as he was from the original, from the original series. They did do the thing that I hated from that original run that leads up to the Age of Apocalypse. I hated his costume. With the big ass M, I've always hated that costume, and they made the decision to use that costume instead of his regular leotards.
More fan classic of this.
That way. Well, no, the other one with the M is more classic than that one.
Yeah, I didn't even know that until I saw like Googling some research about that. So
yeah, that is more of the classic costume, but I've always hated that one.
So of course, by just being a hit with a lot of people right now, they're talking about maybe revisiting some other other cartoons from the '90s that was under the Fox umbrella.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about that?
If they're gonna do it, there's only one that they can do it with. Brings back Spectacular Spider-Man.
You talking about the Fox one or
the Fox?
Oh,
one.
okay.
Bring back Spider-Man.
Is it another cartoon?
It was unceremoniously ended.
Yeah, you're right. It was because I went back and watched it and I was mad.
Yeah, you said him going off to find the real MJ with Madam Web, and then they got canceled. So if they're gonna revisit that, bring that back.
Is there another cartoon that you could think of that you might want to bring back outside of that?
No, that's the only one. Honestly, from that era, that same era is the X-Men '97. That's pretty much the only one.
Okay, yeah, I'll be cool with that. So, moving on, we have we watched Avatar: The Last Airbender,
right?
The live action show,
the Netflix live action series of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
What are your thoughts?
I thought it was better than I believe that it would have been.
Okay.
They definitely took to heart the original cartoon from Nickelodeon. My only problem is that the more serious tone didn't really work for me in a lot of spots. Okay. They definitely took a lot of the joy out of the characters and made it definitely more grounded and more serious, which I thought was a bit of a disservice to the original anime. Because the whole point of the original anime is they have a lot of depressing things going on, but these characters are still jovial and fun loving. So I wish they would have leaned into that more, and the fact that there wasn't enough episodes to try to cover what they covered, which is always going to be a problem with long form running shows.
Yeah, because they got renewed for season 2 and
3. Yeah, to close up the story.
So I know they're going to miss some stuff.
Oh yeah, even in this first season, they missed a lot of stuff.
They did. It's like, and I want to go. I want to go back and watch the cartoon and see. What is it they left out? But I felt like they did a decent enough job of covering what they did cover.
Yeah, they kind of broad stroked it to get to where they wanted to go.
Yeah, exactly. But I agree with you with the seriousness and the joy. It wasn't as balanced as as the cartoon, obviously, because there were certain points, like especially like the last 2 episodes. It was 8, right?
Yeah.
The last 2 episodes, it was so serious. And what's the dude name for the Fire Lord? Prince Zuko. He was getting on my nerves. He was getting so whiny towards the end.
Yeah, his characterization I was a little more okay with. I think the one that threw me off the most was Sokka's characterization, because of the fact that the way Sokka started, at least in the cartoon, he was very arrogant and kind of misogynistic, and he had a bit of an arc where he came to the realization that he didn't need to be so arrogant, to try to prove his bravado and understand that women aren't as weak and docile as he had originally thought them to be. Right. Whereas in the Netflix series, he was just okay from beginning to end. It's like, oh well, there's no growth going on.
Right. He was pretty like mid-level.
Not much growth going on.
So, but yeah, out of the Netflix series, where would you between? You didn't watch Yu Hakusho, did you?
I didn't watch the whole way through. I couldn't.
Okay, good. So between that and One Piece, Avatar and One Piece, where would you?
One Piece is definitely above it because One Piece really captured the joy of the adventure and the characters that the show, the cartoon had.
Okay.
But yeah, Avatar is not bad to say the least. So if you are a fan of the Avatar cartoon, I say that you will enjoy this. But there is a lot of things that you can nitpick.
Yeah, I have to go back on. I think I only got through 2 episodes of One Piece, so I'm gonna go back and try to watch the other. Was it 6 or 8? It's 8 episodes, I guess.
I think it's 8.
Yeah, I have to go back and finish watching the other 6.
Yeah, so and even with One Piece, even if you don't know much about One Piece, like the main character who plays Luffy, man, his joy is infectious.
It is. It is. I can say that from the first episodes I watched, it was definitely infectious.
He clearly loves playing the character.
So yeah, I don't know what Netflix has coming down the pipeline far as anything else, like far as
Live action remakes.
yeah, but I know one thing. Whoever did Hakusho need to be shot in the back of the head.
Yeah. Right. I mean, that wasn't even on the agenda to talk about, but yeah, it was bad.
It was because I know we talked about it off camera, just like telling you about it. It was just it was done so badly. It didn't do any kind of justice.
Yeah, after I watched one episode and I was like, I didn't like the characterizations of anybody, and it looked like they were rushing. I mean, and I watched the trailer from some of the future episodes, and they already had got to the Tagoro brothers, just skipped a whole bunch of arcs. I'm like, good lord.
Yeah, the one thing I think it's a good and a bad thing. Like they took like the whole fight with Kurama and that other character from like the dark from the
dark tournament.
The dark tournament. They took that straight out of the anime, but it was just like it didn't leave anything. They didn't even get like creative with it,
right?
So it was just like you can predict everything's going to happen.
I mean, which is okay. I mean, if the action is good, then it's for me.
And I think that was like the best fight scene out of the whole series.
Right. So yeah, if the action is decent enough, but yeah, so the liberties they took with the story it was a tragedy.
Yeah, because they killed Genkai off camera, and I was like. That's one of the best scenes.
Yeah. So I couldn't even get through it.
Yeah,
after that first episode, I was like, no, I'm not even gonna put myself through that.
You didn't miss a lot. So, is there anything you want to see them remake? Netflix or just
anybody in general
out of anime?
As far as anime goes, I mean, at least a lot of the ones that I watch won't translate to live action well, and I have enough examples of that to know that that's the case. So even the fact that I never even felt like One Piece would do well, and being translated to live action, and that they did enough to hide the fact that Luffy has these extremely baffling powers that don't work well in live action, where he doesn't use them very often.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, so there's not anything that I'm really looking for that I could say, yeah, I would love to see that in live action. Maybe no, I'm gonna leave it where it is.
All right. So we've recently seen 2 movies that came out for 2024. We saw Ghostbusters, the first
Frozen Empire,
and we also saw
Godzilla Cross Kong, the new Empire. Look at that.
We saw that today.
Both movies with Empire in the name and had freezing stuff going on. It's real crazy how that worked out.
Probably was a showrunner, jump between lot to lot,
right?
Running from studio to studio. So
I got a good idea. Ice Empire.
So let's see. I'll go ahead and start with my thoughts on Ghostbusters.
Go right ahead.
I liked it. I'm good with them not doing another one.
I'm in agreement with that. Listen, I won't say that I liked it as much as I say I didn't hate it, which for me is a pretty much a high vote of confidence. If I'm sitting in your movie and I'm like, what the hell? I am so mad that I spent my $5 to $7 because I go to the cheap movies to see this movie. So I will say I didn't hate it. But yeah, they don't need to do any more.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm okay with the series dying.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with Paul Rudd. I didn't have really a problem with any of the actors or actresses in it. Maybe the Fire Master, I didn't see. He was annoying, but
yeah,
I like. And then and you brought Bill Murray. What's the man's name? The Winston's character. What's his name?
Ernie Hudson.
and
Dan
Dan
Aykroyd.
Aykroyd. You brought back those guys.
No, they brought back everybody.
Oh, everybody. Yeah, they brought back everybody from Ghostbusters too. And everybody had a role. I appreciate the cameos. I appreciate them having a part and everything.
My only problem with that is that there were so many people. Nobody got any real characterization.
Yeah, you really didn't see any development like you did in the first film.
Right, because there was so many people to give screen time to.
Yeah, and that's one thing I'd say I didn't really enjoy because first of all, I don't think, did you know Ernie Hudson's 78 years old?
Yes.
He looks good.
Hey, man, I'm pretty sure that man using some testosterone boosters.
Probably
to
so.
keep that physique going.
Probably so. But he looks good. Bill Murray, not so much.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely look at their age.
Yeah, he looking his age, and which rightfully so. He's to get that old is a blessing. But it's like, what were they going to do were they really going to start busting some ghosts?
Which kind of leads to another problem that I had with the movie, that they didn't do much ghost busting. I would have liked to have seen more varieties in Ghost.
Yeah.
It's like, nice that they brought had some cameos from the old Ghost from the old Ghostbusters movies. But like, these are new movies. Give me some new ghosts. Show me something. They had besides the main villain, they had one new ghost.
And Slimer did make his appearance, of course. Which, I mean, he didn't have to be in there as much as he was.
Yeah. I mean, they had a whole side arc with him and the other character, Finn Wolfwood's character, that didn't go anywhere. Just because he was in the movie, they needed him to have something to do.
Right. And it almost feels like this was done during the pandemic. It felt like this was just rushed to a certain extent.
I think part of the reason is because that one, they had way too many characters.
Yeah.
Way too many characters that they needed, and they wanted everybody to have something to do front and center. Because otherwise, then, they could have tightened up the story, because the villain's plot made no sense. They hand waved the hell out of his plot to how he was one, to escape, and two, amass an army. I mean, if the villain in the movie can control ghosts, but yet he wanted to get the ghosts that they already trapped, as opposed to traveling the world and getting more ghosts.
That would have to set a whole nother sequel.
Like, he didn't need the ghosts from their containment unit. He could have got ghosts from anywhere.
This is true. So
it definitely hit all the nostalgia notes, but I do have there were a lot of problems, at least in my mind. Like I said, I didn't hate the movie.
And one thing I'm thinking of now is the guy that he was still the mayor.
Yeah.
So after all these years, he's still the mayor.
He could be if he get reelected.
He got reelected. I hope his platform was not to get rid of the Ghostbusters. Like, bruh, move on. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I probably will see it again, just because I'm just a huge Ghostbusters fan. So I probably will take maybe Nick or Savannah go see it. So
yeah, I am too, but I didn't really have a desire to see it the second time. I think the once was good enough for me.
I can understand that. So then we got to see King Kong and Godzilla. Hadouken.
The New Empire.
I didn't see the New Empire. Did you get the New Empire? Was the New Empire the people?
No, the New Empire were the great apes.
Oh, okay. So
let's talk about a movie. I don't know what the hell I watched.
Look, all I know is that it was on site. From beginning to end, it was on site.
Anytime Godzilla was on screen, it was on site. Hands was thrown.
It was a lot of hands being thrown. So, I mean, as far as an action film goes, and all out beat 'em up brawler, it was suffice.
On the scenes where they had it, there were too many scenes where we were following around the humans doing stuff.
And this is the fault I have with Transformers as they've expanded into their universe. We do not need that much of a human element to follow these characters.
I don't need humans to relate to what's going on the screen. I guess they're good for exposition, because this movie had Godzilla, Kong had a ton of exposition. Just randomly.
I mean, and then we got to break this down, Godzilla and Kong. So where's not the movie budget, but in the movie,
within the movie,
Where's the budget for this? Where y'all getting to build this stuff?
I mean, maybe
Kong had a power fist.
The UN came together. The United Nations came together and put together a budget to give Kong a power fist.
Gave him a power fist. They got fucking spaceships, wormholes, towers, technology.
Your
that we
bases
don't
in Hollow Earth, which is a thing which I always hated from the last movie. Fucking Hollow Earth theory. Anyway, but yeah, so
who's paying for this? Joe? Joe, where the money coming from? You're not canceling student debt because you gotta pay for this.
Exactly. Hey, what you want to do? You want to give student debt relief, or you want Kong to have a power fist?
I vote for the power fist.
I vote for the power fist.
I would gladly put my tax dollars towards a power fist that I cannot use myself.
Absolutely not.
And I don't want him coming to Maryland to use it because he level shit.
Oh yeah. I mean, within the movie, what the scientists made a point to say, Godzilla is protecting humans from the Titans. Sweetheart, I don't feel protected. Godzilla, in his fight with a Titan, levels a city and kills thousands of people. I do not feel protected.
We need to get our Godzilla some anger management because he, like, the Titans was in mind their own business. He was disrupting their peace. And like, for what? He go sit in the Roman Coliseum.
Yeah, and the whole idea of they had, Godzilla powering up throughout the movie, it was a big letdown because it didn't make a difference.
No.
It didn't seem to make a difference other than, he had a different form to sell new toys.
Yeah, because I look at it because he's like, oh, he changed form. Now he got some spikes.
He had a different form to sell new toys. Marketing.
And it was just like, but I mean, I like the fight scenes in it and everything. And then because like it was like you said, we didn't need the humans to tell the story in a sense because there was a good chunk of the movie where Kong and Godzilla were interacting with each other and the other Titans, and there was no English it used.
Right, and you understood what was going on from the context.
Yeah.
Your audience is not stupid. Please don't treat them as such. Okay, that's not true.
Right.
But yeah, so there was a whole lot of the huge chunk of exposition. What is it? Brian Tyree Henderson. What is his last name? They just had him expositing stuff just to justify him being in the movie. And and to his credit, I mean, the guy clearly was enjoying the role, but he really didn't need to be in it. The whole EY tribe that they brought back, I'm like, okay, what are they here for?
Just the diversity inclusion.
I mean, I'm okay with the whole diversity inclusion thing. That wasn't a problem. The problem is they added nothing to the story.
Not so much. So, and I'm good with them not doing other Godzilla Kong movies.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They can shut it down.
Because I saw something that said that it might leave an opening for a sequel. I didn't see one. I don't want one. We good. We can move on.
Yeah, and I've grown up watching Godzilla movies, and I love even the most absurd ones. But at the end of the day, I mean, even the absurd ones have a plot. A reason to get Godzilla to fucking fight some other monster.
Right. And I think at this point, if you want to do another sequel, bring me Matthew Broderick. Bring me John Reno. And from the 1999 John Reno. From the was it 99 2000?
One of those years.
Yeah, one of those years when they did that terrible Godzilla movie.
Yeah, I mean, well, the Toho, the Japanese Godzilla movies, they actually did include that Godzilla in one of their movies. It was probably like in 2002, between 2002 2006, where they had their original version of Godzilla kill that version of Godzilla.
Okay. Well, at this point, just bring back Matthew Broderick. He's not, why not?
I might as well. I mean, they're throwing everything else at the wall because even before we move on, the whole idea when they were expositing it, they said that Godzilla trapped. Again, the main villains are simians like King Kong, and they said Godzilla trapped them in a place in Hollow Earth. How the hell did he do this? Godzilla does not have thumbs. How did he trap them in a place that they couldn't get out of?
Well, he doesn't. Even though he don't have thumbs, he makes up for the determination. Don't you forget it.
These simians have thumbs, and they can climb stuff. Jesus Christ, how did Godzilla trap them somewhere? So yeah, I had a lot of issues. Like I said, when the fighting started between the kaiju, yeah, it was on and popping. But in between those moments, and definitely all of the buildup felt a bit of a letdown at the end. That end fight, especially with all of the buildup they were doing with Godzilla powering up.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it was a movie. We saw it, and I mean, you got nothing to do it on Sunday afternoon, I guess go see it.
Right, if you want to see Godzilla suplex King Kong.
Because that was a thing.
And you want to see, King Kong power fist stuff. Ooh, that's nasty.
It's kids watching this.
Yeah, I mean, so you're bound to have a good time, but yeah, it's just all of the intermittent stuff between the kaiju fights. It felt so pointless.
So these are the first two movies we've seen in 2024 in the theaters. So we got Bad Boys, Ride or Die coming out in June.
Yep.
Planet of the Apes.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
It's coming out soon. We got Deadpool. Is it Deadpool Wolverine?
Yeah.
Deadpool Wolverine that's coming out with July, right?
Yep.
Coming out in July. That's the only Marvel movie coming out. What's it coming out? Batman got delayed the whole year.
Isn't the Joker coming out this year?
Joker's coming out this year.
I mean, granted, I'm not going to go see it.
I'm not saying that either. There's some other movies coming out. Because, I forgot about these. I don't know why I keep Marvel movies on my radar so much. But, I forgot about King Kong. I forgot about King Kong. I forgot about Ghostbusters. These movies coming out this year. And then, of course...
I didn't.
So I think it's gonna be a short year for movies, though. I think, as far as the theaters go.
I mean, depending on what you like, because
Yeah.
there's hundreds of movies, but probably nothing that's big on the radar. Like I love horror movies, and there's quite a few horror movies that have come out that I'll probably go see.
Okay. So Bad Boys and Planet of the Apes, and then Deadpool Wolverine is up next, at least for me anyway. And then we last subject of the day will be talking about Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball. So where were you at when Dragon Ball first came on? How old were you?
I used to watch it because the first time it came over to America, watching Dragon Ball, it used to come on Sunday early mornings.
Sundays, really?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it came on Sunday early mornings. Dragon Ball, the greatest test of all is the final 7 balls.
That's not the original theme song.
Yes, it is.
Oh my Lord, that's terrible.
From the American version of Dragon Ball. Dangers all around you. Villains everywhere.
That sounds familiar.
Evil is amongst you. Keep on searching, but beware. Goku, he's here to show you. He's gonna help you find a way. He and his friends are gonna save the day. That tells you how much I watched that shit.
Because the only thing I remember I can remember it was on, before it was CW, what was it? It wasn't WB. Before it was WB. It was Channel 14.
Yeah.
Whatever that station was, it was showed I think either Saturday morning early or Sunday morning early. But it would say, "Dit and his rival, the Desert Bandit." That's what I can remember from the opening of the show. Or at least the commercial of it.
Right.
But I never it came on too early for me to get up and really catch Dragon Ball the show. But my shiznit was Dragon Ball Z.
Oh yeah.
That's because that came on. Yeah, it came on Channel 14 and just getting up 8 o'clock in the morning, watching those first 2 episodes of Dragon Ball Z, and then they switched over to Cartoon Network, and then you gotta watch them episodes until they got to Planet Namek. Then they start all over again.
Yeah, they would go back straight to the beginning. And I know when Dragon Ball Z first came out, because I was blown away because of the fact that during Dragon Ball is way more grounded than Dragon Ball Z. The fights went up to another whole goddamn level.
They do.
I was like, wow, watching Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball was mainly about the adventure aspect of them going around and hunting for Dragon Balls.
Right.
And then Dragon Ball Z was like, we fighting. we fighting.
It's on sight with your bitch ass.
We fighting. So kudos to Akira Toriyama, and because Dragon Ball will always hold a profound place in my heart.
Mine's too, because you don't understand watching this growing up. Or you do, but I mean, like, I don't think kids gonna understand watching this growing up and not having the internet,
right?
And you had to be glued to a TV and watch. His power level's over 9,000.
Right? Or watch 2 episodes of somebody charging up before a big fight happened.
Like when we was in high school, when they finally showed the Goku versus Frieza fight.
Right.
That took like a month to get through.
Get it?
It took like a month to get through. Talking about this play exploded 5 minutes. Who's 5 minutes,
10
Frieza?
episodes later.
Who's 5 minutes, Frieza?
Said Frieza clearly cannot tell time.
Right. But yeah, I know a lot. People always talk about how, like, how like, the powering up, the yelling, you like ah.
Yeah, I mean, actually, it came out that quite a few of the voice actors, ripped their throats doing the yelling for Dragon Ball Z.
The guy, I forgot his name. I think it's Sean Shamel, whatever his name is. He passed out a couple of times, going to turn Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dragon Ball is a great cartoon. I've reached last year sometime I watched like the whole arc, the whole series again, and I might want to do it again just because he passed away. Favorite character, favorite episode of Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z?
I mean, favorite character Goku. I mean, he was the focus. Favorite episode. The fight between Super Saiyan Goku and Super Saiyan 2 Goku and Super Saiyan 2 Majin Vegeta. That fight is fucking everything.
Yes, it is. It's definitely one of my favorites. Honestly, I don't want to say Goku's my favorite character because Goku gets on my nerves sometimes. I'm gonna say Vegeta.
So you like the Byronic heroes?
I like Vegeta because he came down there. He came to Earth. He wanted to fuck shit up. He got his ass handed to him. He left. He fucked everybody else up. They got fucked up again. And then, but he was always like kind of like second best to Goku for the longest time. And they always did him dirty in the anime movies. Like he's kind of strong enough, but not strong enough per se.
Yeah.
So
because Goku's the focus. And Goku has to be my favorite character because I've been with Goku since he was a kid.
Understandable. But yeah, I want to say Gohan to a certain extent, but I feel like they bitched him in the Buu saga.
Well, I mean, that was because of fans.
What the fans do?
Because Akira Toriyama wanted to refocus what Dragon Ball was about. So,
we talked about this.
So he made Gohan the lead character. He started, getting more into the hijinks. That was the whole him being Super Saiyan Man. He wanted to refocus, but fans did not like Gohan as the lead character.
And I like Gohan.
So he had to push Gohan to the background. So he kind of did him dirty so that Goku could come back into the foreground because that's what the fans wanted.
Oh God. Well, I mean, Gohan definitely has his moments.
Oh yeah,
throughout the whole series.
They definitely gave him some moments.
Yeah,
I mean, because as much as we as fans love Dragon Ball and all of its iterations, for Akira Toriyama, it was a job.
Yes.
It was a job.
He did get paid, so
it was his job.
I think my favorite episode, honestly, it gotta go back to the Saiyan saga with Goku versus Vegeta.
Okay,
that leading up to when Goku come down, hand napper his ass,
right,
and then they had that first tussle and everything, and you see like Goku's up there, but Vegeta still got some tricks up his sleeve, like as far as a caliber fighter goes.
Yeah, so he's definitely struggling.
Yeah,
and then that first introduction of motherfucking KO Kid.
That KO Kid, he did what times 4. And I'm like, oh my God, what we just see? What did we just witness? He spent, and I like the fact that he is just spent for that moment. He can't go no further than that. And I like the fact they put limits on like their power levels and stuff.
Right, and then and then towards the end of Dragon Ball Z, power levels kind of just came.
Oh yeah, non-existent now because like you can't keep up with it if you wanted to.
He said power. I mean, beforehand they were quantifying what powers were, and then after a point, it was like, whatever. Fuck.
Yeah, because like after the Cell Saga.
No, after the Frieza saga, they just stopped caring about quantifying powers.
Yeah, because like I think the closer you got to it, more like Vegeta might have said like he was stronger back then than he is now.
Right. Yeah.
As close as you got to it, you can't put a number on gazillion.
Exactly. You can't say that everybody can destroy a goddamn planet. It doesn't really matter what your power is.
Right. You do that shit by accident. But yeah, that episode, just them going back and forth, was just really amazing to me. And just thinking about like being introduced to like the games growing up, because we had Blockbuster and seeing like that game, in Blockbuster, like was it Final Bout, GT, something like that.
Yeah, GT Final Bout.
Yeah, just seeing different things.
The Tenkaichi Budokai.
Yeah, man, like it was he seeing that and then watching other animes either from you or from Anthony. It just it takes you back down this nostalgia road. Ghostbusters, of King Kong, Godzilla, Transformers, and everything else, X-Men. So I'm always be a big kid no matter what.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, but yeah, that's so. Ain't that's one to add for the show?
No, it's R.I.P. Akira Toriyama.
All right,
go watch X-Men '97 if you haven't already started. And if you're a fan of Ghostbusters,
go see that.
Frozen Empire is not a bad movie to go watch, especially if you're a fan and you starving nostalgia. And if you like giant kaiju, go see Kong Godzilla, but be prepared to be bored when the humans are doing stuff.
Go there with an open mind. Don't worry about plot. When you see him, get DDT. When you see him get suplex,
right?
You need a round of applause. You stand up, goddammit. And also, if you have any of these, share in the comments.
He's talking about his toys.
Yes. My collection of action figures.
They're toys, and it's okay that you have toys.
I know. I'm not mad. I'm not ashamed about it.
Right. So don't try to give it flowery language.
You think I should open these up or no? Just keep them in the package? Do what I want.
Right. You grown ass man.
But I don't know. I don't want to open them, though. I kind of do, but I don't. But I feel, because I know
I don't buy things that I'm not going to use. That's just me.
All right. Well, we got to put like a shelf up there or something and put them there.
Oh, in my house?
Yeah, why not? You ain't using that wall. So, but hey, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and let us know how you feel about the show and everything like that. Stuff I'm going to sign us out.
All right, that's the show. And as always, you can check us out on YouTube, SoundCloud, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify.
Peace out.
Peace.